Hello everyone! We're getting close to the end of 2025, but before we jump into the best Metroidvania games of the year, I want to shine a light on something else first. These are the best new Metroidvania hidden gems of 2025. Games that flew under the radar but absolutely deserve your attention. Well, let's get into the list. Auridia is a Metroidvania game that's all about movement, secrets, and mysterious lore. If you love smooth platforming, this game might surprise you. You'll be swinging with a grappling hook, bouncing off spikes, teleporting with strange powers, and later on, even flying freely. The game isn't about fighting enemies. Auridia is a short experience, but it offers multiple endings that reward exploration and curiosity. While it could have been longer or more complex, like Animal Well, what's here is highly polished, memorable, and completely bug-free. If you love movement-driven Metroidvanias, Auridia is an easy recommendation. I don't even remember where I first heard about Fourmiworld, but I'm really glad I did. This game has a beautiful collage-style art direction that instantly pulls you in. Every area feels strange, creative, and full of personality. You'll constantly run into bizarre creatures, odd places, and things that make you stop and say, "Wait, what is that?" And that curiosity never stops. One of my favorite parts is the journal entries and developer commentary. You can tell the devs had a lot of fun building this world, and reading through their thoughts adds so much charm. If you love Metroidvanias and classic Mega Man ZX style games, Princess Pomu is right up your alley. The visuals are colorful, cute, and full of personality, and it's even more impressive knowing this was made by one developer. As for the combat, it's genuinely fun. As you unlock upgrades, you steadily feel stronger and more capable. Even without every ability unlocked, there's a lot of depth in how you move, attack, and chain actions together. Pomu and the characters she meets along the way are also memorable and enjoyable. The dialogue and bits of lore add extra flavor and help the world feel alive. That said, the game does have a few rough edges. The prologue is quite tough, mostly because you lack upgrades and save points early on. You might also notice a few bugs or typos, but none of them seriously hurt the experience. Every once in a while, a game takes a familiar genre and makes it feel fresh and exciting. Chicken with Robot Legs is exactly that kind of game. It mixes high-speed runner gameplay with Metroidvania-style exploration, creating something truly unique. The result is fast, fun, and surprisingly addictive. From the very start, the game never slows down. You're always moving, always reacting, and always thinking ahead. But this isn't just about quick reflexes. As you explore this strange world, you'll find upgrades that completely change how you move and explore. Each new ability opens paths that were impossible to reach before. This game is a true runnervania. Some games don't try to impress you with flashy mechanics. Instead, they pull you in, slowly, quietly, and completely. The Siege and the Sandfox is one of those games. Every movement feels intentional. The platforming, pacing, and controls are slow, precise, and clearly designed with care. The inspiration is clear, and it works beautifully. It feels like a perfect blend of Thief and Prince of Persia. The stealth sections feel like a 2D Thief game. Sneaking through danger zones, listening to ambient sounds, peeking through keyholes, and picking locks. It's all about tension and atmosphere, not action. You're meant to feel the space around you.
You know this, all of this, but you do not know what?
The Shaman's Arc is a unique Metroidvania that mixes rhythm-based combat with Metroidvania design. You fight using a shamanic drum, timing your attacks to the beat, and once it clicks, it feels incredibly satisfying. Every enemy looks and behaves differently, each with their own patterns and weaknesses, so the combat stays fresh and keeps you on your toes. The world is full of charm, helped by its NPCs. Whether they're offering quests or just having a quick chat, they add personality to the experience. Overall, the Shaman's arc feels like a genuine love letter to the Metroidvania genre. It's well-designed, creative, and absolutely worth your time. Quarion is a short but sweet Metroidvania game. The pixel art is simple, but it looks great. That clean style keeps the screen clear, which really helps during tricky platforming sections. The soundtrack is catchy and relaxing as well, with more intense music kicking in during boss fights. The gameplay focuses almost entirely on platforming and exploration. Every ability you unlock is about movement, not combat. And that's where the game shines. The controls are tight and responsive, making even the hardest sections feel fair. It will take you about 2.5 hours to reach the normal ending. There's more to explore if you want the true ending, plus an extra mode for hardcore players, but that part's optional. Scarlet City Devils is a stylish 2D Metroidvania with a striking hand-drawn art style. That said, there's one issue worth mentioning: visibility. The visuals look great, but the color choices sometimes cause enemies to blend into the background. There are moments when even your own character is hard to see, which can be frustrating in a game that demands quick reactions and precise parries. Once you get past that though, the gameplay really shines. The combat is simple in the best way: smooth, responsive, and very satisfying. The game is short enough to finish in just a couple of sessions, and honestly, you may find yourself wanting more. Ascent DX is a small, free Microvania with no combat, and it doesn't take long to finish. It's the definition of bite-sized. You unlock a new movement ability almost every 5 minutes, and I managed to 100% the game in about 40 minutes. But despite its size, it does a lot of things right. There's no fighting here, just snappy platforming, solid controls, and a surprisingly catchy chiptune soundtrack. The story is simple, but it hits harder than you might expect. What makes Ascent DX special is how well it captures the core of a Metroidvania on a small scale. Ability gating, backtracking, and an interconnected map are all here, and they're done really well. Morkull Ragast's Rage is a funny and unique Metroidvania that loves breaking the fourth wall. You're not just playing the game, you're helping a character escape it. You control Morkull, a loud, angry villain who knows he's trapped inside a video game. His goal: fight his way out by literally beating up the developers who created him. The concept is fresh, strange, and genuinely funny, but there's a downside. The combat is the weakest part. It's very simple, and after a while, fighting the same annoying enemies again and again starts to feel repetitive. Volkolak. The Will of Gods is a 2D Souls-like Metroidvania set in a dark Slavic fantasy world. One of the game's standout features is its werewolf transformation. This isn't just a gimmick, it's central to how the game plays. In werewolf form, you unlock powerful abilities by praying at pagan god altars. In human form, the combat focuses on traditional tools like swords, axes, shields, cloaks, and torches, along with blessings received from churches. Switching between these two forms adds real depth to both combat and progression. I would also like to note that I really love the visual style and atmosphere of this game. Everything feels dark, dirty, and unsettling, and the music fits perfectly, pulling you deeper into the world. Winds of Arcana Ruination actually changed how I see Metroidvania games. This game keeps things simple and straightforward, which makes it much easier to enjoy, especially for non-Metroidvania fans. Visually, the world itself is well designed. It feels mysterious and makes you want to see what's waiting ahead. The character designs might remind you of other games, but when combined with the world and the story, they still manage to feel unique. In addition to that, the gameplay is smooth and well-paced. The mechanics are easy to understand, so you're never overwhelmed. One of my favorite parts is the dash. It looks great, feels satisfying, and is extremely useful for moving through the world. Tiny Dangerous Dungeons Remake is a simple but satisfying Metroidvania. The story is very straightforward. You play as Timmy, a treasure hunter, or more accurately, a thief. His goal is a legendary treasure hidden inside an ancient temple, but right as he reaches the entrance, he falls into a trap. Now, he has to explore the temple, survive its dangers, find the treasure, and escape. The controls are as basic as they get. You can move and jump, but that's it at the start. You can't stomp enemies, so early on, enemies are more like obstacles you avoid. After the first boss, the combat finally opens up and you gain the ability to throw knives, letting you deal with enemies directly. Rolling Star is a fun, space-themed Metroidvania where you play as Lori, a shy and nerdy girl who crash lands into a space colony after an alien attack. At first, she's awkward and unsure of herself, but as the adventure goes on, she grows stronger, makes new friends, and slowly becomes the colony's best chance at survival. The story blends humor with genuine heart, but the real highlight is the gameplay. The boss fights especially stand out. Each boss has its own attack patterns, and on higher difficulties, they don't just hit harder, they move faster and become more complex. This keeps every fight exciting, no matter what level you're on. Star Rift Saga is a Metroidvania made by someone who truly understands the genre and knows how to push it forward. Overall, this game just feels comfortable to play. Exploring the world is relaxing and you're free to move at your own pace. Furthermore, fighting enemies actually feels rewarding. Enemies don't just drop money, they also drop consumables, experience points, and special chips. These chips act like passive upgrades and let you customize your build in interesting ways, which makes combat and exploration more engaging. And here's a smart design choice. Whenever you collect something important, like rescuing an NPC or finding a health or damage upgrade, you get fully healed. It encourages exploration without punishing curiosity. Fatal Claw is honestly a hidden gem. The game looks fantastic, with colorful 2D art and a dark, mysterious world that's a joy to explore. Keisha, the main character, is incredibly charming and the animations are super clean. Every jump, slash, and dash feels smooth and satisfying. The combat also has real weight to it, so even basic enemies feel dangerous and exciting to fight. What's especially impressive is how polished the early access version already feels. You can see some Hollow Knight inspiration, things like charm systems and pogo-style attacks, but Fatal Claw puts its own spin on it, with an art style and character design that in some ways feel even more appealing. Cosmobreeder Yiffai is a retro Metroidvania that feels closer to old PC games than modern indie titles. If you've ever played the original La Mulana, this will feel very familiar. The game fully commits to its retro identity and barely uses modern quality of life features. And honestly, that's part of the charm. The colors are muted, boss rooms are plain, room transitions are a bit slow, and there's no autosave. And you know what? I like that. A lot of games copy the retro look, but few actually feel old school, and Cosmobreeder does. Every room feels carefully designed, like those classic PC games where every screen mattered. The world feels tight, dangerous, and very deliberate. Maid of Salvation is the latest Metroidvania from the developers behind Hunter X and the 3000th Duel. This time, they're switching things up. Instead of a side-scrolling view, the game is played from a top-down perspective. It's still very much a Metroidvania, just seen from a different angle. You'll find the familiar elements fans expect: large areas to explore, a connected map, and plenty of upgrades to improve your combat. The game has a clear Souls-like influence. It will throw sudden difficulty spikes at you, and sloppy attacks are quickly punished. When you die, you drop your items, but you get one chance to recover them, which keeps the risk fair. Overall, it's challenging without being cruel. Calling MOMIBOSU a hidden gem honestly doesn't do it justice. This game goes above and beyond in almost every way. The art is beautiful, the combat is smooth, and the movement feels tight and responsive. Everything is polished, and it all comes together perfectly. Nothing feels clunky or unfinished, it just works. Exploring the world feels natural and rewarding. Each area slowly introduces new ideas, then builds on them as you move forward. It never feels random or confusing, and the world design always makes sense. The boss fights are just as impressive. Every boss brings something new to the table and forces you to rethink how you play. They're challenging, memorable, and genuinely fun. Last Vanguard is an excellent Metroidvania that mixes fast, Cuphead-style combat with open-ended exploration. From the start, the game gives you a lot of freedom. You can choose which areas to visit first, and most movement abilities are available early on. Because of that, progression feels very open and player-driven. On top of that, the art style really stands out. Instead of fantasy or space themes, the game takes place in a retro-futuristic world ruined by war. The enemy designs look great, and the bosses are both creative and memorable. There are also a lot of boss fights, which is always a plus. The story and lore are kept light, but that works here. The game's message about the destructive nature of war comes through clearly without getting in the way of gameplay. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more new exciting Metroidvania games. That's it, and see you next time.